What up, YouTube? T-Movies here with the new Mr. Rogers biopic, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, hitting theaters this upcoming Friday. Since it stars two-time Oscar-winning actor Tom Hanks, I decided to just go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Tom Hanks movies. I was actually going to make this list maybe this week instead, but I was like, I got to make this list soon. I haven't really done a best Tom Hanks list, and I should, because Tom Hanks, the guy is just remarkable. He is, the guy has, played everything from, the guy's done comedy, he's done drama, he's been on TV show, like, he was on that Boozer Buddies, which was actually, really Tom Hanks' breakthrough role, but he's been in the entertainment business for years, like, decades and decades. And from what I heard, he's also, like, one of the nicest celebrities you ever want to meet. Granted, I never met him or anything, but I heard nothing but, great stuff about that guy. So, and cannot wait to see him as Mr. Rogers. But, anyway, with that being said, here are my top 10 favorite Tom Hanks movies. Now, this was actually, I gotta say, this is one of the hardest lists I ever had to make. I probably could have just done a top 15 or top 20, because he's been in so many great stuff. But anyway, with that, here's my 10 favorite Hanks films. Alright. Coming in at number 10, it is the Clint Eastwood film, Sully. Now, this is about Captain Sully Sullenberger, who ended up who ended up saving the lives of these 155 passengers and crews to the, he of course landed them on the, Hudson back in 2009. This is really great. It's directed by Clint Eastwood. You got Aaron Eckhart was in this. Tom Hanks as Sully was really great casting. He's been playing so many great real life people, and Sully's definitely one of them. Really great performance. And Clint Eastwood, what he did with this movie was really terrific. Like, if you guys haven't really seen the Hanks film Sully yet, go check it out. It's a really good one. Alright. Coming in at number 9, it is the Ron Howard film, Apollo 13. Now, Hanks and Howard have worked together loads of times. Like, there's a couple of other Ron Howard movies in this list. And you got Tom Hanks as the leader of the astronaut team, Jim Lovell, who is, like I said, is the leader of the astronaut team, and of course this is about the the Apollo 13 mission. It is terrific. It also has great cast. You also got people like Kevin Bacon was in this. You even had Bill Paxton. Ron Howard really assembled a great cast for this movie. And Ron Howard, he did a great job at directing this film. I believe he scored a couple of Oscar nominations, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah. Yeah, that being said, Apollo 13 is really great. Anyway, if you guys haven't really seen Apollo 13 by now, definitely go check that one out. It's a really great film. Alright. Coming in at number 8, it is Philadelphia. Now, this was actually the movie that won Hanks' first ever Oscar. And the film was directed by the late, great Jonathan Demme. And it was the first big mainstream studio film to tackle the AIDS crisis, and Hanks played the character Andrew Beckett, who's this senior associate at a top Philadelphia law firm, who is trying to hide the fact that he is suffering from AIDS. And Hanks actually ended up losing 26 pounds for the role. And you've got Denzel Washington as his personal injury attorney, Joe Miller, who must face his fear of of gay people and the disease from which they are also suffering from. And the film also features Antonio Banderas. I mean, great casting in this. And Hanks, him and Denzel both had great chemistry, like great on-screen chemistry with one another. Yeah, if you guys, anyway, yeah, if you guys haven't really seen the Tom Hanks and Denzel movie Philadelphia, it's a really terrific film. All right, coming in at number 7. Speaking of Ron Howard, it is Splash. Now, this is kind of an interesting film because Tom Hanks plays this guy who ends up falling for a mermaid, played by Daryl Hannah. And besides Hanks and Hannah, you also had Eugene Levy, John Candy was in this. Directed by I already said, but directed by the great Ron Howard. Ron Howard did a really cool job at directing Splash, and Daryl Hannah as a mermaid. This was actually a movie that I kind of had a bit of a crush on Daryl Hannah when she played a mermaid here. But yeah, Splash is it's a really interesting one. I mean, Little Mermaid is a really good iconic movie about mermaid, but Splash is definitely the second best iconic mermaid there is. Yeah, if you guys never really seen Splash by now, I mean, you know, Tom Hanks and a mermaid, what more can you ask for there? But it's a really great one. Definitely go check out Splash if you guys never seen that. Alright. Coming in at number 6, it is A League of Their Own. Now, of course, this film stars Tom Hanks as a has been Cubs hitter Jimmy Duggan, who ends up becoming the team's manager of a all-female baseball team, and it's directed by Penny Marshall. And of course, Hanks and Marshall have worked together before. And besides Hanks, he also had a great female ensemble. You had Lori Petty was in this, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, some really cool cast members. And Hanks, of course, had the iconic line of "There's no crying in baseball." Really cool line right there. And Tom Hanks, you really actually brought him as a coach too, and Hanks really killed it. Like if you guys ever seen A League of Their Own yet, it's definitely one of the most iconic baseball movies there is. All right, coming in at number 5, it is Saving Private Ryan. You know, I mean, this movie was directed by Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks have worked together loads of times, and I mean loads of times. And I kind of actually talked about Saving Private Ryan not so long ago when I was talking about Matt Damon movies, and I've been talking about this movie a little bit too much. But what I actually love about Saving Private Ryan, Tom Hanks, he's no stranger for war-based movies, and he was great in this. He of course had Matt Damon, and Hanks played the role of Captain John Miller, who's this company commander of the Second Ranger Battle Line, who after serving the brutal landing of Normandy on June 6, 1944, is ordered to find and rescue a missing soldier named James Francis Rock, played by Damon, whose three brothers have just been killed in action. And this movie sadly did not win Best Picture because they actually thought Shakespeare in Love was a better movie. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Shakespeare in Love is okay. But I'm still wrapping my head how on that movie won over Saving Private Ryan. I mean, yeah. Now, I believe Tom Hanks scored an Oscar nomination for this, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. I should double check that. But that being said, Saving Private Ryan is a terrific film. If you guys ever seen it, go check it out. To me, it's the best war movie there is. Really terrific film. A little intense. I mean, this is actually a movie probably not really watch over and over again, but it's still a really terrific film. Alright, coming in at number 4, it is the Toy Story franchise. I mean, Tom Hanks, has done other voiceover works, like, if you remember, he did Polar Express, which I quite like Polar Express, by the way. But the Toy Story franchise, him voicing Woody, and you've got Tim Allen as Buzz. Really great, iconic duo right there. And Tom Hanks has some really, iconic lines here, like "Reach for the sky." I mean, really, really cool character here, and he's been playing the role from the first Toy Story all the way to the recent Toy Story 4, and of course we had Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2. I mean, this is a this is an iconic anime franchise, and it's a really great one. If for some ever reason you never, oh dang. Anyway, for some ever reason, if you've never really seen the Toy Story franchise, go check the Toy Story films out. They're really great. All right, coming in at number 3, it is Big. Now this movie, sort of like A League of Their Own. This movie is directed by Penny Marshall, and you got Tom Hanks who plays this. I should say it's like similar to the recent Shazam movie, where a kid ends up like being stuck in a like a romance about it. Now, I mean, Tom Hanks, he becomes anyway. Sorry for that. Yeah, Tom Hanks really embodies the role of a young kid here, and it's a really good one. I mean, it has some iconic scenes like the piano scene is really iconic. I mean, one of my favorite scenes in the recent Shazam movie was actually a paid tribute to that scene in Shazam. I thought that scene was pretty cool. But anyway, Patty Marshall did a great job at directing. Tom Hanks, and you also had Robert Loga, Elizabeth Perkins, John Lovett. Some really, really good, some really great performances in this. Like, if you guys never seen Big by now, do yourself a favor. It's a really, it's a classic Tom Hanks film. All right, it's a rating. All right. I know this is a professional, but I gotta move because it looks like it's about to rain. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I gotta move you over here because it literally, I felt a raindrop and literally feels like it's about rain, which I didn't hear anything about rain, but anyway. All right. Now, my number 2 favorite Tom Hanks movie is going to be Castaway. Now, this was actually the last movie that Tom Hanks ended up getting an Oscar nomination for. I mean, Castaway. I make sure no one's stealing my bag. Anyway, in Castaway, you got Tom Hanks who ends up being stranded on a desert island. His only reliable companion there is maybe what's right. Maybe let's just say thought it was ready, but anyway, as I was saying, that was ready. I think whatever. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. As I was saying, in Castaway, Tom Hanks' only companion is a volleyball, and I'm not joking. There's actually literally people who think the volleyball should have been nominated for an Oscar. I always found that should be weird, but still, Castaway it's a terrific one. Tom Hanks really nailed it being on a stranded island. I've already said this, but this was the last time he ended up actually getting an Oscar nomination was for Castaway. Hopefully that would change for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood because he looks great in that. I mean, granted I haven't seen the movie yet, but anyway, if you guys never really seen Castaway, directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring a volleyball, Tom Hanks, really terrific film. I mean, crazy to believe this movie actually turns 20 next year. I mean, boy. Alright. Now, what is the best Tom Hanks movie of all time? Obviously, number 1 is Forrest Gump. I mean, it's also directed by Zemeckis. I mean, Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks they have got a really cool relationship together. And I mean, Forrest Gump to me it is the best Tom Hanks role. You got Robin Wright as as Jenny, who I never really liked the Jenny character. Like, well, I think I'm not alone with that. There's literally lots of people, like even so many fans of Forrest Gump will tell you that they do not like the Jenny role at all. And the Jenny character is a messed up character right there. But anyway, yeah, Forrest Gump. I mean, it is the most iconic Tom Hanks role there is. You know, he ended up winning his second Oscar for this. I mean, Tom Hanks was actually ended up being the only, like, one of the only few actors who actually win an Oscar for Best Actor back to back, because he won for Philadelphia before this, then after that he ended up winning for Forrest Gump after, and I mean, really great, a well deserving win. And the movie, of course, won one for Best Picture, won Best Director for Zemeckis. Really great film. I mean, the mother and son dynamic chemistry between Forrest Gump and Sally Field was great. Uh, this thing has great scenes. Whether you're talking about the the war scene, or I mean, life is like a box of chocolate. I mean, this has some really iconic lines. Or whether you talk about the other line, stupid is what stupid does. Which I'm not gonna lie, I think Forrest Gump predicted the future. By the way. Anyway, yeah. Every time I see people talking dumb or whatnot, I always use that stupid is what stupid does line. But anyway, yeah, if you guys for some ever reason never seen Forrest Gump, it's seriously one of my favorite movies of all time. I did my 10 favorite movies of all time list not so long ago, and surprise enough, Forrest Gump was in that list. It's a great film. I mean, it's iconic, iconic lines, iconic moments. To me, it is the best role Tom Hanks has ever done. And yeah, that alone is why Forrest Gump is one of his best films of all time. So anyway, now that's pretty much it. Let let me do the quick rundown. All right. 10, Sully. 9, Apollo 13. 8, Philadelphia. 7, Splash. 6, A League of Their Own. 5, Saving Private Ryan. 4, the Toy Story films. 3, Big. 2, Castaway. And 1, Forrest Gump. Now, obviously, he's been in loads of other great stuff over the years. Let me pull up his credit list. Alright. His other films includes he was also in The Terminal, which I think is one of Steven Spielberg's worst movie in my opinion. Alright. Okay, let me see. Captain Phillips, he was great in Captain Phillips. I mean, how did he not score an Oscar nomination for that? It's still beyond me. His other credits, the Da Vinci Code films, which the first Da Vinci Code was okay. The sequels, yeah, that's a different story. Turner and Hooch was great. He worked with Meg Ryan so many times in Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, and Joe versus the Volcano, which I think is actually the worst collaboration of them. He also did not everything he did was great. Like he was in The Circle, which was horrible. He was also in Bridge of Spies, which was okay. Turner and Hooch is great. Road Trip Edition, The Post, The Money Pit, the horrible Cloud Atlas movie. He of course played Walt Disney in Saving Mr. Banks. He was great in that. Let's see. The Burbs is great. That Thing You Do, Bachelor Party, Charlie Wilson's War, Larry Crown, both with Julia Roberts, by the way. Lady Killers, which wasn't good. Punchline. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Hank's been in some really great stuff over the years. But let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Tom Hanks movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movies signing off.